Let me tell you a story you are not gonna believe. Met this chap down the pub and listen to what he told me. He told me that he doesn't pay for his water anymore. And the reason he doesn't pay for his water is because it's got loads of chemicals in. And if you can't drink it, then why is he paying for drinking water? I thought for a second and I thought, well, that sounds kind of true. That sounds fair enough. You know, why would I buy a bottle of water from the shop and pay for that if it had mud in it? Well, I wouldn't do that, would I? Right? So, is it the same thing when it comes out the tap? So I said, tell me more. He said, well, first thing I did was I sent a letter to the water board saying, could you just let me know what the ingredients are? Because unlike a bottle of water that you would buy from the shop, which not only comes in a clear bottle so you can kind of see the purity, but also, I know there's a lot of unseen impurities, but also it is governed by the retailer. I'd love to tell you. So what is in the bottle? Let me tell you a story label, you are right? Not gonna believe. So that sounds fair enough. Met this chap down with your water company and listen to what there is no label. There's just a tap. He told me that he doesn't pay for his water anymore. Really, is to see the label, isn't it? So that's all we're asking for. Is because it's got loads of chemicals in. So, and if you can't drink it, then why is he paying for drinking water? They didn't. I thought for another letter saying, "Oh, that's it's only fair." I thought if you're asking me to pay for this water, well, that sounds kind of true. I'd just like to see the label. Sounds I'd just like to see what's in it. You know, right? Why would I buy a bottle of water from the shop and pay for that? I'm going to have to stop my payments if it had mud in it until, well, you wouldn't provide me with the label. Because, again, just going back to the bottle of water in the shop, the same thing when it comes out the tap. So I said, tell me more. Why would he said, well, pay for that water? First thing when all he's doing is saying, I sent a letter with a label to the water board, to which they are legally bound. And then could you pay the ingredients are, right? Because, well, you wouldn't unlike do that, would you? A bottle of water that you would buy from the shop, which not only comes in a clear bottle, so you can kind of see the purity. Anyway, but so also, and they haven't impurities. So what he said, but also, is, well, look, if they're not willing to share with me the retail, what I'm paying for, and governed by foods, then as a consumer, and governed by the Food Act, I'm not paying for it. So, right now, I'm not refusing to pay. So what is in the bottle? It's got to be on the label. All I'm doing. So I'm saying, look, fair enough. I can't pay but with your water company until I know what's in it. There is no label because there's just a tap. That would only be the right thing. All we want really is to see the label, isn't it? So that's all we're asking for. We go to a restaurant, the label. We can see what's in it. The label. We know if there's any allergy advice. They didn't. We know if there's any of this. We know if there's any of that. So then he sent another letter saying, so if you've got a nut allergy, it's only fair. Kind of need that label for this water, right? Then what if I just like to see the label? I just like to see traces of nuts, right? And if you don't provide me with that label, but they're not providing you with the label, I'm going to have to stop my payment. That this chap said until, but he just said, well, look, provide me with the label because, but again, just going willing to share the label in the shop. How do we know? Why would he? Well, in which case, not going to buy that bottle of water. Pay for that water. I'm not going to pay for that. All he's doing is saying, no, just give me one with a label on it. To which they are legally bound. He just stopped paying for it, and he said, look, you know, until you provide me with this information, pay the money. Yeah, right. I need to know what's in it. Well, you wouldn't do that, and I need to know why you're putting it in it, and I need to know whether that. I need to know what the chemical. Anyway, so he asked again what the possible damage of that could be to me as, and they haven't sent it. So what he said is still no answer. If they're not willing to share with me what I'm paying for, as we all know, then as a consumer, kind of a necessity. I'm not paying for life, food, shelter, right? Now I'm not refusing to pay. He said. Yeah. So food, shelter, and water is necessities of life. I can't pay for this. We'll say human until I know what's in it, because I'm not keen on the word human. That would only be the right thing. Because and human in Black's would all be the dictionary. Yeah, means monster. We go to a restaurant, so we can see what's in it. Necessarily want to be. We know if there's any allergy advice. But for this story anyway, we know if there's any of this, right? And so he said, look, you know, if I can't, what if they figure out? I've got to traces of nuts to know what's in it, in the water, what damages it, but they're not providing you with the label, right? I'm not saying, or at least be able to know what's in it. But he just said, well, look, and then be able to Google it and do my
But
own research.
if they're not willing to
but they're
share
not
the
even
label,
providing me with the label,
how do we know
which they're supposed to do?
Well, in which case,
So if they're not going to do
I'm
that,
not going to buy
then
that
I ain't
bottle
going
of
to pay
water.
for it.
I'm not going to pay for that
Then
water.
I said, well, surely you're going to
if
get
there's
cut
no
off.
label on it.
To which he said, well,
So
it's a
God-given
God-given paying
right.
for it. And
First
he said,
off,
look, you know,
nobody
until you
owns the
provide me with this
water.
information.
Second,
Because how
yeah,
can they?
I need to know
Because
what's in it,
all of the
and I need to
legal
know
and
why you're
lawful
putting it in
systems are
it,
built on
and I need
the
to
Bible.
know whether
And
that
in the Bible,
I need to know what
the
he who
chemical
creates
or
owns.
what the
That's
possible
one of the
damage
rules,
of that
right?
could be.
And
to
there's
me
no
as
man
a
or woman
living
that can
man.
say that they created water.
Still no
That's
answer.
what he said to me.
Now,
You know, our creator,
water,
whoever that might be,
turns
whoever
out,
you believe in, doesn't
as
matter.
we all know,
but
the
the creator
kind
of this
a necessity
wonderful earth
for
that we
life,
live on,
this
food,
heaven
shelter
that we live
and
on,
water,
gave
gave
us
us
the
the
water
water for us to be able
So
to
food,
live. So he said,
because human,
they're not providing
in
me with
Black's
ingredients,
Law Dictionary,
and they're not
means
proving
monster.
that they own the water.
So,
and
but
it's
for
a
this
God-given
story,
right.
anyway,
Says so in the Bible in two
and
different
so he said,
places.
look, you know, if
So
I
I just
can't
sent him a letter back. He said,
figure out,
saying,
I've got to
"Oh,
write
look,
as a consumer.
I can't
to know
pay what's
until
in it,
you
and what
prove
damages it. What
the water's
damage it
good
might
to
cause
drink.
me. You tell me
Right?
what's in
or
it,
at least be
I
able
can see
to
the chemical
know
compound,
what's in it,
and you can,
and
of
then
course,
be able
you
to
can
prove
prove
that you
do my own
own
research.
this water. But they're not even
Now, I'm
providing
not
me
saying
with
that
the
they don't
label,
own the
which
pipes,
they're supposed to do.
but they're not
So if
charging
they're not
me
going
for
to
the
do
pipes.
that, then I
They're
ain't going to
charging
pay
me
for it.
for the water.
And I said, well,
that
surely
I
you're going to get
apparently
cut off.
consume.
To which he said,
Which,
well,
I have
it's a
to
God-given
filter
right.
anyway. First
So
off,
nobody
if I've
owns
got to
the
filter
water.
it to make it look good,
Second, because how can
I
they?
should be charging
Because
them for that
all
filtration
of the
system.
legal
And the
and lawful
filtration
systems
system,
are
my
built on
filtration
the
system,
Bible.
cost me
And in the Bible,
£10,000 a
he
day
who creates
to
owns.
run.
That's one
So
of the rules, right?
I'll have to invoice
And
them
there's no man or
£10,000
woman that
a
can
day,
say that they created
hypothetically,
water.
right?
That's what he said to
To
me.
get the water clean enough,
You know,
because
our
I'm not sure
creator,
what's in it.
whoever that
I'm
might
going to
be,
make sure
whether
it's
you
clean
believe in doesn't matter.
for my body.
But the creator of
So he
this
says,
wonderful earth
look,
that we live on, this heaven
that's all I've done,
that we live
right?
on, and I've just
Gave
said,
us the water. Dear
for us
Water
to be able
Board,
to live.
please
So
furnish me with these information. And until you do, of course, I can't be drinking this. And if I'm not drinking it, I ain't paying for it.
So he
Right?
said,
So they're not providing me
while
with
we're in
ingredients,
dispute,
and they're
while
not
we're in
proving that
this
they own the
period
water,
of discovery,
and
all payments
it's a
will be put
God-given
on
right.
pause.
Says so in the Bible.
Right?
So we're
Should
not
have-
saying that we're not going to
you know,
pay. He said,
said,
says so
I'm
in
not
the Bible.
saying I'm not
in
going to
two different
pay.
places.
I'm just saying,
So I just sent him a
while
letter
we're
back,
in
he
this
said,
period of discovery,
saying, well, look,
I'm
I
pausing
can't pay
payments
until you
Now, this
prove
period of
the
discovery
water's good to drink.
could go on for 20
Tell me
years.
what's in it.
In
I
which
can see the
case,
chemical compound.
I have to
and
keep
you can,
the
of
payments
course, you can
paused
prove
because
that you
I don't know
own
what's
this
in it.
water. Now, I'm not
Isn't that
saying that they don't
fascinating?
own the pipes.
Now,
But they're not charging
we
me for the pipes.
have created a
They're
school
charging me
community
for the water
that helps people
that
create
I
these kind of
apparently
stories
consume for themselves
which
if they want.
you can check
I
it
have
out.
to filter anyway.
The link is in the bio.
So if
See you
I've got to
later.
filter it to make it look good,